So good evening everyone. It is our normal usual class, our introduction to Python, just to programming with Python. And what we are learning presently is how to make a program to be more intelligent and take decision on its own, depending on the condition you might have given to it. You take some decision based on condition being met, and you drop some decision based on condition being met as well. So something like that can be done by our program, our software. So it depends depending on what we are focusing on. So we can achieve the results human being normally achieve. By and large, last class we had amplifier, maybe your phone. Okay, thank you. So by and large, uh, we started this if then as a lesson, and what we learned from there is that we can take some decision based on some condition being met. Take for instance this one: age is equal to 12, medically fit equal to false, jam equal to 20, culture is equal to false. So you can have condition like this: if age is greater than or equal to 16, or this or this or not this, you get result based on that. If all these conditions are met, if all these conditions are satisfied, then this code block will run. I told you from the last class that when you put semicolon and press enter, the cursor will be blinking under this if block, telling you that this statement belongs to this if block, and this print not admitted belong to this else. So that is part of what we learn in a quick recap. Now, today let us quickly do one work. Let's create another file. Let me call it bank.py. bank.py. So our task here is to build a simple app that when we press 1, we get our account balance. When we press 2, we can deposit. When we press 3, we can transfer. When we press 4, we can exit the program. That is what we want to basically do. So after confirmation from Adesola Adeoye that everybody can see my screen, I still assume other people can still see the screen. So you can just give a thumb up to confirm again, because we deep dive into the major app of the day. So let us say there is one thing I want to quickly teach you before I move to the core of the app, because it's part of what I might need to be explaining the project. So we have a way of repeating task. Like I want to print good evening. Like I want to print good evening 10 times. If I want to print good evening 10 times, you agree with me that I will need to write good evening times multiply by 10, like this: good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, so that I can have 10 good evening in the command console here. But with the help of what we call looping, I will just teach you one of it, the one that I want to employ in this project. I might not need to write good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening 10 times. I might not need to write that. So what do I need to do to achieve good evening 10 times? I might say y, let me say count, create a variable count equal to 0. Y count, you are used to this type of you are used to condition. Y count less than or equal to 10. Y count less than or equal to 10. Print good evening. Then I will need to be increasing the count. Each time I print one good evening, I will increase the count. Count equals to count plus 1. What am I doing here in this simple code block? I first of all set count to 0 because it has never print any good evening. That is, whenever it print good evening, the count should count you have printed 1, 2, 3, 4. I now set in the second line, I now say y count less than or equal to 0. That is, why the count is still within 0 to 10. Are you getting it? Why the count is still within, or let me say y count less than 10, in order to get accurate 10 good evening on the console. And I'll say y count less than 10. That is, when this count is still less than, if you are giving it as 0 is less than 10, print this code block should run. The first line says print good evening. That is 1. Then in order now to increase the number of counts, because it has printed 1, it should add 1 to the initial value. And I'll say count, which was 0 before, equal to count plus 0, which means it's going to be count equal to 0 plus 1. 0 plus 1, which is going to be 1. It will have recorded that you have printed number of 1 time. Then the while loop next. What will happen next is that the control will come back to the while loop to confirm if count is still less than 10. The last figure from this code block and from this line is that 0 plus 1, count is now 1 now. Is 1 less than 10? The answer will be yes. Then another good evening will be printed. Then after the good evening has been printed, the initial value of count is 1. When you add 1 to it, it becomes 2. When it gets here, it will still confirm is 2 less than 10. Is 2 less than 10? The answer is yes. You will still print another one till you get to when the count will be 10. When count is 10, it will now say is 10 less than 10? No. Then the control will leave this area and move to another thing. And since we don't have any other thing down here, nothing will happen. Let me create something like, let me print done. That done is outside this. It is when it has finished running this. Let me separate it to make it less ambiguous to you. It is when this one has finished running, when count is greater than or equal to 10. You get, the control will leave this code block and move to this line. This line will now say done. That is, it has completed printing. So let us try to run this one. I hope all of us can hear me and see my screen. It's because I'm expecting you to ask questions from this simple one before we move to the project. If you don't understand this, there is a code part of that project that requires something like this. So it is going to be an issue if you don't understand it from this time. Python app.py. When you press it, you are expecting print good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Then you want to hear done. So let's see. You can see we have several good evenings. Then at the end you can see done. At the end you can see done down here. So please ask question on this one now before I move to a little bit complex one.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Sir, you said count equals to 0.
Yes.
Why count less than 10?
Yes.
The line 2, line 3, print good evening.
Yes.
Oh, the line 4 says count equals to count plus 1.
Yes.
This first count, is it not going to be different from
Yeah, this is the idea. The What will happen here is this: the count was 0 before. The count I'm calling here is just calling where this expression was to be stored to. Are you getting it? So what will happen here is that the 0 will be added to 1 and saved in variable count. Just understand it that way. 0 will be added to 1 and saved in variable count.
But this variable now, what makes it to be different from this can shrink can plus 1?
Yeah.
That variable.
What makes it to the difference is this: we are, this is how computer will run it. Computer will pick expression side first, which is this side I'm highlighting. It will call the value in it, which initially it was 0. Add 1 to it. It will now come to the left hand side of the equal to check where am I storing that value. Are you getting it? Where am I going to save that value? It will now discover that I still want to save it in variable count. It will now use it to override the initial value in it. The result of this expression will override the initial value of this one. Did I satisfy your question?
I've heard, but I'm not yet satisfied. So let's move on, sir. Let's move on.
Which area is still not clear?
Let's move on, sir. Let's move on.
Okay, let's another person ask question. Maybe from
Hi, sir.
Hi, I'm with you, sir.
Yes, sir. To better answer the final question, sir, I want to say that maybe we should just tell her that this can plus 1 is like we are redesigning, or we are, let me say, we are giving another value, like we are giving another value to variable can.
You cannot get it.
Like we are trying to change the value from 0 to another thing.
Yes, let me thank you for that explanation. What he is trying to tell you is this: we want to change the value in variable count. We want to assign another value into variable count, but we want it to come from an expression that initial value should be added. We should have 1 added to it and reassign it back to variable count. Is that what you are trying to put up, please?
Yes.
So that is what he's trying to tell us, and it actually explains it.
Instructor, Mr. Kolako.
Yes.
No, sir. What I'm trying to see is that, like, can't we say can 1 equals to can plus equal to 0? Can 2 equals to can 1 plus can
No, you don't need
can,
that.
there are many cans now.
You don't need that. Take this one as your storage bucket. The one I'm highlighting is a storage bucket. It has value in it. The white block will check if that value is still less than 10, the condition to satisfy before it moves on. Then this one will, if the condition is satisfied, this one will work. Then by the time it gets here, you only need to add 1 to it. If you are saying count 1, count 2, count 3, whatever we are still going to reference the count here. It must still be the same variable. The first time the code will run, it will add, the count will be 0 by that time. It will add 1 to 0 equal to 1. I told you it will now come here and check where am I saving the new value I got now. It's in that inside count variable. It will move to it and save it inside. Are you getting it? By the time you save it inside, when y block want to confirm, you will still confirming. Remove your eye from this one. We only need it once. Just one time, just to create initial value inside that variable. By the time it gets here, the variable count from this expression now has value 1. It's going to now be, is 1 less than 10? Yes. Remember that it was 1. So this one will print and still say what is the latest value of count, which is 1 from that while loop now, from the initial expression. So which is 1, 0 plus 1. It's now be 1 plus 1. Then this thing will now still confirm where am I storing 1 plus 1, which is 2 now. It's going to store it in count. Then this one will come here. What is the value of count now? 2. Is 2 less than 10? Continue. It will still print this. And now since the value of 2, count is still 2, you now add 1 to 2, making it 3, and store it inside here, inside there. This one will now confirm if still count still less than 10, which is now 3, till it gets to when count is equal to 10, that it will stop. Do you understand now?
Yeah, I'm with you, sir. All right, sir.
So we can continue.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, if this area is clear, let us make it more advanced a little bit. Let me read one message I have yeah, she is, but we will, over time, she will get used to it. She understand what variable is, which is a storage bucket, something like storage bucket where you store something. Don't be in haste to write. Listen first. So which is a storage bucket? So storage bucket that hold a value. We are just referencing it by its name. Anyhow, let us move on. There are instances that you don't know the number of times you want something to happen. It is when user wants it to end that it will end. You know this one that I just did, it happens 10 times because I've predetermined the time from this 10. There are times that you don't know how many times the thing will happen. You understand? The loop, the code will keep executing. Let me check if someone is at the door waiting. Okay. So in that case, you cannot determine how many times. Like you actually, I wanted it to print good evening, but until user says stop, do you get? Let's refine this code to be like that. It will not be 10 times this time. It can be 2 times, 3 times. When user doesn't want to say good evening again, it will stop it. How? Instead of, let me comment out this one. Let's create another fashion. Here. Let me create another fashion here and comment out this side. Let's come to this level. Okay, thank you. Instead of hard coding the number of times, I'm with you.
The comment tag, does it really mean as the to like drop it off?
No, what it means is that to make it non-executable code.
Okay.
Then when the compiler wants to run, it will just keep it. I've said it in the first or second class that the comment is actually to pass message, but when you want to make some code part of your code when you want to get your code to be non-executable, that's why you need comment.
And then what do we do to comment?
Yeah, you press control then slash key on keyboard, control and slash key on keyboard.
Okay, the control and slash.
Yes, it will comment everything out. So moving forward, I don't know the number of time I want it to. It is user that will determine when it will actually want it to stop. You will say why true. True means that why you have not bring anything into this code, that will stop it. True is a keyword in Python. False is the opposite of true. When can we pass in false? Is when you actually want it to happen. Let me put it this way. Since we are not interested in number of time again, we don't need this count equal to count plus 1. What you need now to stop it is input from user. Actually, when you input into the code, you are making it you are going to make it take some decision. Now let's say when let's say we have let me store it let me store stop create stop variable. Stop variable will now take input from user. And what is that input? Let's say you ask the user, do you want to exit or do you want to stop the program? Let's put it that way. If user now type, you can now put in brackets y or n. Y or n. Y mean yes, capital Y. Capital N mean no. If you type in no, there is no problem. If you now type in Y, that is yes. You actually want to stop the program, it will stop. So you will now put a condition like we learned from the last class. If stop, which is variable, that whatever you type will be stored in this variable stop. Do you get? If stop equal y, capital Y. Let's be realistic, capital Y. Now then what should happen? Break. That is how to stop loop, the endless loop. That is, you should break out of this loop. What it means is that stop running this segment of code. It means break out of this loop. Break means break out of this loop. When it stop break when it breaks out of this loop, it will run this final one. So let us see if our code will still work like it worked the other time. Do you have any question? Okay, so let's run it and see. What it means is that the new changes now is that whenever it prints good evening, it will ask if you want to stop it now. If you say no, you type capital N, you are good to go, it will continue. If you type capital Y, it will stop. Let's see. You can see good evening and see if you want to continue. Do you want to stop the program? Let me say no. N. You can see it still print another good evening and still ask me if I want to stop the program. Let me say no, capital N. Now I want to stop now. I will just say Y, which is yes, and you will see that done will come up and the program will terminate. Any question from this junction? This one shouldn't be a problem. Mrs. Like a fire, because this is straightforward thing. So there is no count equal to count plus 1 this time. This is straightforward. So do we have any question on this now? Waiting for question for like 2 minutes before we continue. So you have the program open to you, the code open to you, to look at it and see any gray area and ask for clarity or clarification rather. So uh, Madam Kifaya, Mr. Adeoye, Mr. Jogomi. Is there no question? Do we understand it so that we can move to the project? That's the area I want to actually pass to you before we move to the project.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, you said in that last program you executed, do you want to stop the program? Yes or no? Yes. Done. For up there, print done. Dash range inside the bracket. But we are the one that put it there now.
Yes, yes. It is
Put
just
it there.
what it means is that I don't understand. What are you trying to ask?
As in we are the one that type this print done.
Yes, yes, we type it ourselves.
Why do we type?
Yes,
Why?
it's just to tell us that the program has finished running. That I said when the stop equals to y, which is a short form of yes in this case, break. What and I said what breaks means is to break out of this loop. That is, stop running everything in these highlighted lines. When the control break out of this, that is, it stop running it will be looking for the one to run after this that is not inside while loop, and a while loop inclusive. So what it will now be looking for is this line, and it will just say done. So the essence is just to confirm if actually the loop has broken out. Do we have any other question? Did I answer you well, please? Madam Kifaya, did I answer you well? Anyhow, let us continue. If this part is clear, I think we are good to go. That is the part I want you to grab. That is not, we have not learned as is in the project, our project now. So, like I used to write pseudocode, that is the step by step we need to solve that program. We want to write a program that when it runs, it will display to user that welcome blah blah blah. We understand we use print to display to user welcome to our demo bank, and give user instruction that you normally see on your phone. They press 1 to press 1 for accounts balance, press 2 for, so we first of all print those instruction and welcome message. So the first step is step 1, or let me say 1, print welcome message, welcome message and instruction. That is the first thing. Print welcome message and instruction. Then step 2, after we have printed welcome message and instruction, we are expecting user to start taking that instruction into the action now, into his own action. So let's say step 2 is to take the choice. You know, we will have presented to the user that when you press 1 you are click, when you press 2 you need to take inputs from user, maybe 1 2 3 or 4 or whatever. You take input from the user, you take option or choice. from the user. Then step 3 would be to check which of the number from 1 to 4 the user has chosen and execute accordingly. You need to execute. If the user press 1, it will say that my account balance is this. If the user press 2, it will ask the user again how much you want to deposit, because we will have told him from instruction that 2 is actually meant for depositing money into the bank account. So let's say step 3, execute, carry out the instruction accordingly. Let me don't use carry out the instruction according to the user choice. Carry out the instruction according to the user's choice. Is there any problem? So, and then we want to carry out the instruction now. The instruction might be to print. The instruction might be to print to give user the account balance. The instruction might be to input the blah blah blah. Then after that, we want it to continue to ask user for next thing. You understand? That is why we need while loop. That's why we need while loop. So let me pause here and try to cater for these 3 steps first. Let me pause here and try to cater for these 3 steps first. So number 1 is just to print welcome message and instruction. We understand how to do that, and which is going to be print welcome to our demo bank. That's the welcome message. The instructions now. Instruction now is that number 1, press 1. Sorry, it's going to be string. Press 1 account balance. Let me duplicate it 3 or 4 more times. 3 times 4, 3 times 1, 2, 3. Press 2. Deposit. 3. Transfer. Then 4, when 4 is pressed, we are exiting the program. 4 means exit. Exit. So we have passed necessary instruction. You will agree with me that we need, if user press 1, that means we will have preset an account balance before we ask user to actually request for. Let's set our initial account balance to, let's create a variable account underscore balance equals to, let's say 2000. Do you understand? Let's say 2000. Now we need to make it the next code line. Now after we have set the initial account balance, is to ask user, do you understand, to ask user for what you actually want to do. But we'll put everything into while block, because when you ask and the user press one of it, and after finishing that you want it to repeat itself. Let me first of all do it without putting it inside while block. You ask user, what do you normally need to ask user is input function, and you set it into a variable. Let me say choice or response. It could be anything. Response equals to input choose your choose operation. Let me say choose operation. I'll put in the bracket so that the user will understand it's between 1 to 4. You understand? So choose operation, that is the bank operation you actually want to perform. So then I will now say if response equals 1, that is user from this instruction, it means user want to check for account balance. If response equal 1, we now say print, let's say your account balance equal is, let's say is, then will come out like this. We have passed the string. We want to pass the value of account balance now. You will come out, you will still be inside the bracket, but you come out of the string quotes, then you put comma, then you can now write account underscore balance. It will now be your account balance is the value inside this account balance. I believe you should understand. Then else if, like we taught ourselves the other time, response equal to, it means the user wants to deposit into the account, his account, you get. If you want to deposit into the account, that means we need to collect the amount you want to deposit. We need another input. How? Let's say amount equals to input how much, or let's say enter deposit value. Like I have told you before, by default input return string, and you will agree with me that you cannot add, and this one account balance, you can see from here it is a pure number, integer. So we need to cast up, let me say you need to convert the number user will type, convert it to integer so that it can fit with the account balance, because we will add whatever user type to the account balance to get new account balance. Do you understand? So so you agree with me that I need to cast the string, the input will return string. I will now convert that string to number because I want to extract the number from the string so that it can be used for calculation. And what calculation is that? We had the amount user want to deposit to the account balance now. So let us do it this way. You say int, let me create a space. You say int, then you open a bracket, then you close the bracket at the edge here, telling you that you want the response from this input. You want to remove the number from the user will have typed number and it will be string. Then I want to remove the number from the string to convert it to number and store it in amount. So next thing is that when you get the amount user wants to deposit, you can now say account balance is equal to whatever the value of account balance is now, like account balance plus amount. Do you understand now? We should have account balance, whatever the value is, add the any amount the user has typed here, add it to it. You have deposited money like that. You have deposited, because when you deposit money, your account balance should increase by the amount you have used to deposit money. Let me confirm when this thing is going to have 7 minutes. I'm confidently sure that it will not be enough. So let us take it from me now. You will get another link when this one ends to complete what we have started. You are not going to stay too long. So and someone please to take it as a matter of duty. When this thing ends, I might not know from where I am. Kindly notify us in the group that it has ended so that I can create another link and send to the group. Please, I will pick someone. Mr. Desola, can you do that for us? Please, when the class ends, I might not know. Kindly notify us in the group. Are you in the group, please?
Yes, I'm in the group.
Okay, when the class ends, please notify us in the group that it has ended so that I can create another link and send to the group. Thank you.
No problem.
All right. Okay, so let us continue. This one we have deposited money successfully. Let us give user a feedback. The feedback will be under elif too, because it's still a code block belonging to elif. So I will say print. Let me bother my deposited, comma, your new balance is space. So I want to just pass a message deposited. I don't want to waste time. Your new balance is, then you come out like we did the other time, put comma, so that you can reference the new account balance now. Account balance. In the future, we'll modify it to have figure, to have 0.00, to have naira. We don't want to bother ourselves with that now. That means we have successfully completed depositing money into the account. We can move to another one. And I told you, when you press enter, the cursor will still be blinking under here. Cursor will be blinking under here, assuming that you want to continue typing statement that will still run when the response is equal to 2. But now we have done with that. We will now press a backspace to write another condition. Elif response, that is, if response equal 3. Now that means the person wants to make transfer. We will collect the amount you want to transfer as well. So we can just copy this. You can just copy this and change this to transfer value. Enter the transfer value. Still the same process. You will ask me, is the amount not going to affect the amount here? Whatever that is in here belongs to this code block. Once this one finishes, the amount is thrown away. Another one is going to be created under response equal 3. So what do we need to do? Almost the same thing like this. We will say accounts, in order not to waste our time. Let me paste it. Account balance equal to account balance minus the amount. Whenever you withdraw from your account, you transfer from your account, you get. Let me even use withdraw. Withdrawal amount. We enter withdrawal value. So you are deducting from your balance. You understand? Then let's print a message. Let's give a feedback to user. Transferred. Your new balance is, your account balance must have been reduced by the amount you have typed. Then if we are done with that, let us move to the next. We have 4 instructions. 1 2 3. We have 4. Now if user now type 4, if response equal 4, what should happen? You want to exit the program, and how do you exit? Break out of the loop. But there is no break here now. What can you do to stop the program even you are not using break? You can use a function called exit. Then you pass message. Thank you for banking with us. Thank you for banking with us. So you are exiting the program entirely. But you will agree with me that if I run this one now, it will only run once. That is, when it's finished running, because by the time, if I only press 2, I add money to the account I deposit. When the code leaves this area, it will just leave other leaf. Every other condition will not be run again, will not be executed again. What will now happen is that the program will just exit itself, even without typing 4. It will just exit itself. Let us run it that way first and now modify it to be the one that after it might have run, it will ask for the whatever again. So let us run this one and see. Good evening. Oh, that good evening of that time. I don't know. Let us comment out. Let me say no. I've not commented out that good evening, whatever. Oh yes, I need to type here. So don't. That is not what I want to do right now. Oh, I'm so sorry. I was running different file. I was supposed to run bank.py. Bank.py is the new file we are working with. So running bank.py now. I'll get this message, I'll get this response, whatever, and it will only run once. So wait while the compiler. Good. You can see I have this. It has sent it. Okay. Let me create another link. Mute your mic. Mute your mic, please. Hello. Alaikum salam with you. I'm with you. Alaikum salam.
It seems stop them ahead of me, sir. Eh?
You said?
Maybe it was if I joined the class. As in like maybe it's too late. You know, I just joined this class yesterday.
No, the class resumed yesterday now. Hello. Who is actually talking? I don't know. Is it Mrs. Kifaya?
It's a different class from what?
It's not different.
Yes.
It's a continuation. It's a continuation of what we have been doing before.
Mm.
Yeah, it is a continuation of what we have been doing
But I
before.
thought we were classes at the same time. You know that
You know, we are not having two
we
classes.
separated.
It's only one class
We
per.
separated.
We are just moving forward. Just try to understand what we are learning now. So it's good. If you have any gray area, you can just relate with me privately. So let us
You know that
continue.
my network.
Oh, so
By the time you were
it was that is okay. Where
now,
did you
so
where what did you hear last? Can you confirm what everyone heard last from me? So let us let
let's
me
just go
continue.
ahead.
I want to go ahead now. I want to confirm what you heard last. Are you with us to this level?
The office. You are the state of changing the terminal to but later but I later joined.
Oh, sorry. Maybe Mr. Adesola wants to say something. Can you please speak up? Oh.
I said you are the state of running the terminal
Eh,
like
exactly. So, thank you. So, I've run it, I've executed it, and that is what you are seeing. You can see, welcome to our demo bank. Press 1, account balance. Press 2, instruction. 3, instruction. 4, instruction. And we want to know which of the instruction the user wants to actually work with. Let's say you want to check for our account balance. You press 1 and press enter. You can see, oh, there is a bug. Good to know. Oh, beautiful. Yes, I forgot to tell you, and bug will take me to hit. That's very fantastic. Now, I want us to pay attention to one thing. I said the return statement of this input is string. You can agree with me, what I'm testing for is not string, it's a number. That is why nothing happens. The program just ended like that. Are you getting it? What I need to just do is to put all these 1 2 3 in quotes, so that these are the bugs you might face in your practice or in your assignment. If you are expecting string will be the value that will be stored here, but when I want to test here, I was testing number. So if I didn't put it inside quote, it's a number. If I put it inside quote, it's a string. And I knew quite alright from when Python is in life, that whenever you input function return string. You know, when I needed it to make calculation, I converted it to integer to make it number. So please take note of that kind of a bug, and let us be careful so that we will not waste our time. That kíní yóò máa ṣiṣẹ́ is actually ṣiṣẹ́ o. So let's run it again. After the instruction, you press 1. Actually the 1 is string, because this guy will convert it to string and pass it to response. Response will now confirm is response equals 1, which is string, and print my account balance. Let's see. Your account balance is 2000 according to what I have pre-programmed into the account balance variable. You can see after running that one, nothing happens again. But ussd app doesn't work that way. It will still ask you, tell you that instruction again, or ask you to, do next operation you have in mind. So let us modify it to behave that way. So if you want to modify, we have two options. The first one is to include this instruction every time, like ussd used to do. You need to include that instruction every time. If we want to do that, we will need to move this account balance away from the loop. Are you getting it? Like we move count equals 0, outside the loop so that the count will not always be 0. So that the account order will not be reset to 2000, we need to move it outside the loop. So let's move it outside. Where you go away, so that we can always print instruction for user, or we shouldn't bother, we should just print this, choose 1 to 4 again. The user must have understood what 1 means, 2 means. Let's put it that way. So let's write our while loop and try to move this inside it. Why? We don't know the number of times that thing will happen. We cannot predetermine it from here. We just need to write while true, and you put semicolon, you press enter. So we can now move everything we have here into the how you can just move it up and press tab to move it inside the loop now. So by the time you finish with first operation, expect to see choose operation again, because the control will return back to this place, and whatever you choose will now determine what will happen to your account balance. Let's see. Let us run it once again. Yeah, you have welcome to our bank demo, blah 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 blah, blah 1 to 4. Let me say 2 this time. You should ask me the deposit value now. Bravo. Enter deposit value. Let me say I have 2000. Let me add 3000 to it. I should have your account you deposited blah blah blah. That message I couldn't remember. So deposited, your new account is 5000. It has added 3000 to 5 now, and it's from what we just did. Now we have choose operation again. So you can say, let me say 3 to remove 1000 from 5000 to make it 4000. Enter withdrawal value now. Let's say 1000. Then I should have 4000. It transferred. Your new balance is 4000. Let me now, after that, the number 3, I've added 1 2 3. So let me exit from the program. I can just say 4. I will see a message and the program will be terminated. You can say thank you for banking with us, and the program has stopped. So now let us take question. It might be a little bit tricky for people coming from another background, but I can assure you, if you study it very well and ask question, you will get hold of it. Question now.
Yes, I have a question.
Okay.
And the other time you highlighted all the commands. I want to ask the commands, the key to press on your keyboard that you use to move everything at once.
Okay. If you want to move a code in VS Code, when you highlight it that way, you can press Alt, then you press arrow up or arrow down keyboard. Alt, arrow up or arrow down key on keyboard. Then you want to move it inside. They are on the same line before. They were on the same line, but I now wanted to move everything inside, that I indented it so that it fall under while loop. You use tab key. Use tab key to do that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question on this code logic? On this code logic now, any question? So I believe we all understand this and there is no question. In the absence of that, let us take this assignment. Let us take this assignment. So let us take this assignment now. Write a program that will classify user age. Classify user's age into this group. One, we have infant between age 0 to 1. Let me look for it in the Google. I don't remember. I know infant, then toddler. Excuse me for a while. I want to check Google. Age classification. So we have from 0 to 1 is infant, from age 2 infant, toddler, toddler, let's say from 2 to 5 years. 2 to 5 toddler. Then from it's not going to be 2 to 5. Let's say 2 to 3. I'm looking at WSO classification here. Then child is from 3 to 3 mix this thing together. Let me look for better. I'm sorry, I'm looking for better one that I've seen one before sometimes ago. Okay. Okay, child is between 3 to 11. Then teenager is between teenager is between 11 to 17. Then adults is between 18 to 30, or let's say 20. Yes, let's classify it to 18 to 30. Then middle age is between 30 to, let me say, 45. And senior man, old man, is 45 and above. What I'm going to do is to write a program that will take age from a user. So when user now enter his age, you now say you are an infant. You are a toddler, you are a child, you are a teenager, you are an adult, you are a middle age, whatever, according to this classification. So I believe we can submit that anytime soon. It's going to be a simple thing to work with. So let's see if there is question on the assignment or on the project we just did, and let's take that and end the class for today.
Yes, sir, I want to ask that, are you going to drop this file, this particular file on the group chat?
You will when you finish it, you can drop the code file in the group. You zip it and send.
Okay.
Or if you okay, zip it and send so that I can test it for all the conditions. Yeah, welcome.
Yes, sir. Please, can we see the question again, too?
Yeah, the question it's long, Abby. The question is there. In fact, almost
Or
everything.
if there is any way you can just copy it and paste it on the group chat.
I'm
Yes.
just trying to put it down, so we don't know.
Okay, you want to put it in the group. Hello?
Yes, like it and just copy it and put it on the group chat.
Yes, let me do that right away. Though I'm sending this code file, the code file updated
And
one
when
now.
are we to submit the assignment, sir?
So today is Saturday, submit it on Monday latest. We are having next class on Thursday. Submit it on Monday so that if need be, I can correct some errors, I can interact with you on it before the next class.
Okay.
So the assignment is in the group now.
And when are you sending the code file, sir?
I will send that today. I will zip and send today.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there any other question? You are not that very audible.
Link to the video so that we can rewatch it. Like me now, I did not join from the beginning.
Okay, that one will be dropped maybe tomorrow morning. The last class and the class before today and this class too. Tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Is he even recording? Thank God it's recording. It's recorded for now. So if there is no question and we can just end the class today and wait for our assignment. I will zip and send the code files tonight, and the class video will be available on the channel. I will send the link to the group tomorrow morning. So we wish us a happy weekend. So we'll meet on Thursday and interact in the group anytime we have any issue. So thank you for your time.